Welcome to the channel on this 2000 point Warhammer 40k battle report. Custodies are good now. Well, let's find out how good they are when they take on the Death Guard and Mortarion. A stench, a foul wind is blowing through this ruined shrine in this dusty valley. It is here where the Death Guard will face the Golden Host. And this gorgeous scenery, the sandbags, the ruined bunkers and the ruined shrine are provided by marchofwar.co.uk. Hi James, March of War.
Hi James from March of War. How are you today?
I'm good. Well, no, you're James from March of War.
Hi, March of War.
You've brought down your Custodies today.
I have indeed, and I am feeling surprisingly dirty for saying how shiny and gold they are.
Well, I'm surprisingly dirty because I've got the Death Guard.
You have. Mortarion is there. and there's a blob of Blight Lord Terminators.
Yeah.
And I'm worried.
Well, this was the list that I brought to the Factorum GT.
Excellent.
So you've got a tough list.
I've been playing Custodies since Friday, so we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Well, how many games have you had since Friday?
6.
6 games since Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, so you should be down with the rules.
Just about getting there.
And you made this stuff.
I did make this stuff and painted it up for you.
Thank you. And you also make bases and things.
I do.
Like these sort of bases and things that people can buy, and I've done this to your lovely bases and adding them to my Necrons. Yeah, it's good.
Looking good. I love your Necrons.
I love my Necrons too. So if people want these stuff and things, they go to marchofwar.co.uk. Yes?
They do indeed.
And get them there, and you are
I am
March
of
of
War.
War.
I am March of War.
You also run tabletopevents.co.uk.
I do, yes. Which is the home of the DZ Day.
Yeah.
First Saturday of every month.
First Saturday every month, Deployment Zone runs a DZ Day, a hobby club. It's our local hobby club. Well, you run it for us.
We do, but
you run other events and things.
We run all sorts of events and things and stuff. But the DZ Days at the moment, we're pushing you guys into running your own stories every month. So we've had Chris B from the community ran us an amazing one this month. Pixel Reaper's running next month. He's got a complete change to the format. We're doing 3 games, 1,000 points.
Okay.
Gravity's running the one afterwards.
All right, Gravity with his Dino Space Marines.
He is.
I think I'm doing the one in May.
You're running May. Yes.
Yeah, so I'll be up there in May with the Deployment Zone people. Actually, the ones who are listening to this from the Deployment Zone, I'm there in May.
Consider this your invite.
To get your tickets in now. But also tabletopevents.co.uk have other events and things.
We do.
How do they see your calendar? Is it on Facebook or something?
We're on Facebook. We've got a website which is tabletopevents.co.uk.
Yes.
On the front page there is a calendar with the events on it.
Yes.
We've got things on 2 or 3 weekends a month.
Yes. And people can hire the hall themselves if they want to, because you're a terrain maker, you and Ed, and they just turn up with their armies and they've got all the stuff and things.
That's it, definitely.
Nice. Okay, so let's talk about what we're doing today. Right, so for this battle we decided not to play match play because we didn't want to give ourselves migraines, we just wanted to have fun, so we are just playing a mission from the open war deck, and then we randomly drew the cards to see what we're doing. For the first time in like forever, we pulled out War of Attrition, which means we just need to kill each other.
Which, to be honest, is about as narrative and game objective as you could get. Custodies killing Nurgle, Nurgle killing Custodies.
So whoever kills the most power by the end of the game, well, you add up of whole units, by the way. If there's one model sneaking away somewhere,
still alive.
You don't get all the points for that unit. You have to kill the entire unit to get the power level. Because we're actually at 2,000 points, but we're running the points. But you add up power level. It says actually power level of points. Looks like we're doing points then. Okay, so you add up all the points of whole units killed. And then interestingly enough, just to make that even worse, this popped out because you get a twist. Add 1 to the move, add 1 to advance, and add 1 to charge. So we really, really want to kill each other. It's like, oh no.
It's going to be so messy.
And then that came out. So at least that's normal. We're going to have a standard deployment, trying to kill each other with additional movement, which helps me because I'm quite slow, but it helps you too.
Because I'm really fast.
Because you're
I'm now really
fast. So it really is a war of attrition, a war of death and guard, of gold and green in and amongst this dusty ruin valley. Well, that was pretty good, wasn't it?
That was fantastic.
Really
nice.
Yeah, let's go and have a look at these armies. No, 1 minute. I remember my new segment. Before we go and have a look at these armies, first, a word from my sponsor. Which one are we doing? The affiliate link, okay. Hi, I'm Winters, and no, I don't own a tie, and the sound in this room is terrible, but I'm here to tell you about the Element Games affiliate link. I'll put a link in the video description below, which takes you to Element Games, where you can buy all your hobby purchases for 10-15% off, and because it's an affiliate link, I'll get a little bit of kickback. So buy your hobby purchases through the affiliate link and support me at the same time. It's a win-win. And you can save the link somewhere on your search engine, like the window, so you click the thing, and then in the future you can always potentially, if you wanted to, go through the affiliate link and buy all your. You see how, yeah, so you're getting stuff. You're getting paints and brushes anyway, right? So you might as well use the affiliate link. Thanks. Right, this is the 2,000 point Death Guard list that I brought to the Factorum GT back in January. I was 3 and 2. It's a similar list. You guys have seen something similar to this on the channel off and on. So 3 and 2 is a pretty healthy score. The Factorum, again on Facebook, I should put a link or something. The Factorum is, we're now running a monthly DZTV GT at the end of every month in the Factorum. It's going to be called the DZGT. The DZGT has been ran and it's open to everyone. So once a month, every month, we have the DZGT. Once a month, every month, we have the open war narrative hobby area. That
DZ day.
The DZ day. So we've got a DZGT and a DZ day.
Little hubs everywhere.
So we've got the open war side covered and the narrative there, and then monthly.
Exactly.
Every
Sounds
month.
Amazing.
The difference is, though, that only deployment zone members can come to the open, because we've got to keep it cash. We don't want...
Yeah.
But the GT anyone can come to.
Cool.
So
when is the GT? Is it set weekends?
The GT is at the end of the month. DZ days are at the beginning of the month. The GTs you can come are at the end of the month. Right, this is a single battalion, 2,000 points, 12 command points to play with. Death Guard have disgustingly resilient, -1 damage, and what we have here in the Warlord slot is Mortarion. Mortarion has 3 Warlord traits, and you pick a 4th one from the Plague Companies, and everyone picks, and I always pick Gloaming Bloat. That means that when you're in contagion range, which is always 9 inches around Mortarion, rerolls are turned off. Rerolls to hit and rerolls to wound, and you can't fire Overwatch. So at 9 inches, he turns off rerolls. At 3 inches, with the Living Plague Warlord trait, his other Warlord trait, auras are turned off as well. He's also got Arch Contaminator and Revoltingly Resilient. He's also got a 5-up Shrug and helps plague weapons wound more. He's a 490 point beast. He's an Imperial Knight that is very like an Imperial Knight, but Imperial Knights have guns as well as punch. What they've done with the points on him is take away all of his guns apart from a pistol. He's still got the same amount of punch, but given him resilience and psychic power as well. So he functions like an Imperial Knight is the way to think about it. That's how I think about it anyway. His psychic powers are Gift of Plagues and Curse of the Leper. And then running around with him are 2 malignant plague casters, Delirium the Corruptor and another unnamed malignant plague caster. Both of these. He's not a sorcerer, malignant plague caster. I've given them both Putrescent Vitality and Miasma of Pestilence in case one of them dies. And the relic, because he's got the Warlord trait, Mortarion, the relic is going on the Foul Blightspawn, and it's called Revolting Stench Vats. What the Foul Blightspawn does is within 3 inches, he makes units fight last. And what the relic does is at 6 inches, he has a fight first mechanic. So yeah, contagion and getting closer to the Death Guard turns off things. You get weaker and weaker and weaker. Contagion range as well will come into effect as this battle goes on, and will weaken the Custodies. I have 10 Poxwalkers. I have 2 units of 5 Plague Marines with a flail and blight launcher in each. I have 2 Blight Haulers with Entropy Cannons, and 1 large unit of 10 Blight Lord Terminators, 2 flails and 2 Blight Launchers in there. So yeah, it went 3 and 2 at the GT. It's a strong list. It's not a stupid Death Guard list, but it's a strong list. And it's certainly fun to play with because you just play catch with Mortarion. You throw them up the table and say, hey, catch this. Have you ever caught Mortarion before? And some people are like, ah. And some people are like, no, I got this. And then you've got the second rock, which is a unit of 10 Blight Lord Terminators. Basically, these 2 units together is about 1,000 points.
Quite a commitment.
It is a commitment, but it's very good fun to play. Yeah. And because it's stripped down, it's... it's not brain melting.
No.
You can play it quite quick. In fact, I think I've got less models than you.
I was just looking, trying to count. I think you have.
Let's have a look at the Custodies. And here we have 2,000 points worth of Custodes, the Emissaries Imperatus. They have 2 fighting styles, which are always in effect, which basically they have a fight first.
They have fight first across
units
everything.
within engagement range fight first, and they ignore any or all modifiers to hit and to wound.
At range as well.
At range, yeah. So I turn off re-rolls, but if I've got any minuses to hit, like Miasma or Pestilence or anything like that, and indeed cover, like firing through trees or anything like that, you ignore any and all modifiers to hit and wound rolls, as well as having the fight first ability. We've got a couple of units from Forge World over here. The rules for the Forge World books are in the Imperial Armor Compendium. The other stuff, ain't.
No, it's all normal plastic stuff.
I should say ain't or isn't.
Ain't.
Ent is a very
Ent.
West Country thing to say. Ent. They say ent
the
round
walking
here,
trees.
Yeah, ent. I ain't
Ent.
doing this, I ain't doing that.
doing
But
that.
it's really West Country, sorry.
It's like out as well. We get out instead of anything.
Because of the North.
Because of the North. Out.
You're not proper North.
I'm not
though.
proper North, no.
You're like pretend North.
Pretend North. We're just like hovering around south of the
It's
border.
like me, I'm not proper West Country, I'm pretend West Country.
On the border.
Do you want to talk us through what you've brought?
Right then, we have Trajan Valorous,
Yes.
who has to be the Warlord and has to take his own special ability, which is... it's not Master of Mankind, sorry.
He does give command points back.
You get 1 back at the beginning.
Because you've spent 2, but you're going to start off with 11.
Yeah.
Have you figured out the thing yet?
I have figured out the
Go for
thing. So Trajan Valorous has to take the Captain General and the Champion of the Imperium.
Okay.
Basically, that just gives him his rerolls. So he gives out hits and wound rerolls.
Right.
And gives out Heroic Intervention.
Okay, so that's good. Well, Custodians have a strat where they can
do that anyway.
But hits and wound rerolls will be turned off within advantages of all mortal. If you get that close.
We get there.
Yeah, what else you got?
We've got a Standard Blade Champion who has no upgrades on him. He's the new fella at the new box.
He's cool, man.
I like it. And what was quite nice, you get enough bits to build 2 of them.
Nice.
They give you 2 sets of weapons, 2 sets. So I've done 1 that's the proper one, and then 1 I've just shoved him on a normal guard body, and I've got 2.
Nice.
So that's cool. To the other side of him, we have a Vexillus Praetor with the -1 to hit banner.
Right. Okay. So that's a 6-inch aura.
6-inch aura.
Anything within any units within 6 inches of him -1 to hit.
But it says they gain the benefit of cover now, so it's not stackable to be -2 with cover.
Yes.
So that's one thing. Cool. So the Custodes shield captain on jet bike. I've given him a warlord trait, which is Champion of the Imperium, which lets him heroically intervene 6. And gives him his own rerolls back because obviously they've lost their reroll to themselves. They give it out to Core.
Yeah.
He's now got it back.
Captains give it a cause, but he gets it himself as well.
Yeah. So that's him done. He's also got the relic, the Castellan Mark, which is a redeploy strat. Redeploy at the beginning of the game jobby.
For him, and how many units?
He can do 2.
Okay.
I don't think he can do himself. It is just 2. It's not him and 2. So,
okay.
Yeah. Then we've got into the troop slots. We've got blob of 3 guys, 1 with a shield. Blob of 3 guys, 1 with a shield. Blob of 3 of the anthracite spears, which are the melter equivalent spears.
Melter equivalent. Oh yeah, from a Forge World again.
They're not. They're homemade.
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 Okay, so their guardian spears on these fellas come from there. The anthracite.
They do. Yeah.
I can see the melter tips on the end. So they're basically firing melter guns.
Melter guns.
Okay.
Then the last slot in the is the Sisters of Silence.
Yes.
We've got just the normal bolt squad one because they are troops. So
And they do neither which.
They do neither.
Plus, well, the +1.
Can't be targeted.
Can't be targeted. Yeah.
They have a big
can't get
bubble
smitten.
minus,
anything like that.
All sorts of.
But you've only got one of them.
Only one squad. Yeah.
Because the way it works with sisters is if there's one squad, it's -1 to cast. But if there's 2 squads in range, it's -2 to cast. 3 squads in range, -3 to cast.
Can't
Doesn't
go
get
past
back.
4.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Which is nasty.
Yeah.
Okay. What else we got?
Then we've got a single Alaris Custodian.
Alaris
Terminator. That's the word.
Units of 1 now.
Units of 1.
I like
love it. He will be jumping in the deep strike because I can drop him around where I need him.
Yep.
3 of the normal jet bikes with the missiles.
All got the missiles.
All got the missiles.
Okay.
And the shield captain's missiles as well.
Yep.
And then we've got 3 wardens.
Yep. They've got a 6-up shrug.
6-up shrug, and they get the lookout, not the lookout, sir.
Bodyguard
rule.
6-up shrug. Basically, they're the same as normal dudes, but they've got an extra attack, 6-up shrug, and a bodyguard rule.
And you can give them axes,
but
which
they're
used
the
to be
same
more
number of wounds.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then we've got the 2 palaces at the back.
Yep.
And then the dreadnoughts.
2 palace grav tanks and 3 dreadnoughts. 1 with sword and board.
Yep. 2
and
with
2
the
with
spears.
spears.
The one with the sword and board, I have given him the
Eternal Penitent?
Eternal Penitent, that's the word.
So that's an extra attack and reroll charges.
It is, yes.
So you've actually got quite a few vehicles here.
Yep.
And these dreadnoughts do have the -1 damage.
Yep.
And they've got a 5-up invulnerable save. And they're quite pokey in close combat.
And I've given them the Anthrus Sand Destructor jobbies, the nasty wrist guns.
The nasty wrist guns to the shooty ones, the ones with the spears. Okay, so they're quite punchy. These things are only about 90 or 100 points each.
Yeah.
They zip around all over the place and lay down some fire. So they're not that troubling, but they're troubling and everything else is troubling.
Yes.
Because everything else is
trouble.
Custodies.
I'm looking at yours thinking there's just nothing but trouble there.
Now, the thing about Custodies is axes and spears and swords are all 2 damage now.
So they're all 1 damage.
And against me, they're all 1 damage. Because I reduce all damage by 1.
You do. And I have a Qatar
So
that
that's
can gain
interesting.
me extra attacks but lose me 1 damage.
Oh. Okay. So lose even more damage?
So I no, because they can't go below 1.
Right.
So they go down to single damage instead of 2 damage, but gain a number of attacks.
Right. So you get more attacks in
Yeah.
because you've got your damage has gone down.
So,
Which is probably what you need against me.
you.
So there's some speed. There's definitely a lot of punch. And we deployed for this 2,000 point slaughterfest where the Custodies and the Death Guard simply mean to kill each other. 2 rhinos on this flank with Malignant Playcaster and the troops inside, and that one's got the other Malignant Playcaster. And my Foul Blightspawn. It suddenly occurs to me that bringing Miasma of Pestilence, which is a -1 to hit modifier against an army which ignores -1 to hit modifiers, isn't the best choice. In fact, it's completely irrelevant, but I wanted to run the army that I did bring to the GT, and that's what they have, so that's what I've got, which is fine. It means I've just got more smites. Custodies do have a 6-up shrug against mortal wounds, and it used to be only in the psychic phase, but now it's just against all mortal wounds, so they will be shrugging some of the smites, but I'm not going to change my psychic powers based on the army that James March of War has suddenly brought along. Sticking with it, Mortarion standing strong in the centre. Here are the Blightlord Terminators and tanks and Poxwalkers down on that flank, because I'm aware that James March of War has a single Alaris Terminator that he can teleport in at some point. We have a Palace Grav tank on this side with the bikers, and there's the captain. There is a brick in the middle, led by Trajan Valoris. But the wardens are nearby, so he can't get shot at. And then the other Palace Grav tank and the dreadnoughts on this flank. We're counting this as a 1 piece of ruin, so you can be in it and get shot in and shot, but you can't shoot through it into the middle. And then this area here will be the other ruin. It does mean you can shoot through the gaps this way, but it will completely block line of sight unless you're in it. Unless you're right up to the edge, I won't be able to shoot through. And the crags and the canyon walls on either side open up some interesting flanking routes. There's also light cover from the barricades all over the place. First we must roll some dice, sir. After you, sir. 2. 5. Now I can choose whether I want to go first or second because it's open play, it's not match play. Now I really need to think. So we'll go on to the tea phase. Right, we have a lovely cup of tea.
We do.
And your Warlord trait allows you to redeploy or put stuff in strategic reserve.
It does.
And then when you put stuff in strategic reserve, you can spend a CP and put it in the Teleportarium.
Indeed. So, I'm going to redeploy both of these.
Yes.
This fella is going to pay a CP and dive in the Teleportarium.
He's the one that can reroll charges.
He's the reroll charges.
Yes.
And thingamabob. And then he is the other spear guy who is going to go behind here with his mates.
Okay, because there's tanks here.
Tanks and guns.
So your dreadnoughts have disappeared. And now we go on to Death Guard turn 1. Here we are after the Death Guard movement and command and psychic phase in turn 1. A cautious start. What I've done is get one of my plague casters out and put +1 strength and toughness on them with putrescent vitality, but not thrown Mortarion up the table, because remember, got +1 to move, advance and charge, because if he was here, your entire army would descend upon Mortarion in turn 1 and he would be dead. He's sort of standing back saying, come at me, bro. So that's what he's doing there. Move forward with the Blight Lords to grab a little bit of cover. That's the psychic phase done. Yep. Just +1 toughness on them. Everyone's turtled up, and I've moved the tanks around so I can shoot your bikes. Right, I'm spending a CP on Disgusting Force. So the Plague Burst Mortar goes from 2 damage to 3 damage as we rain it down amongst the bikes, and it has 1 shot. So I'm going to command point. Bike? Yeah.
I'm going to do the transhuman jobby.
Transhuman jobby? Yeah. Okay, so for 1 CP, you can only be wounded on a 4-up. So that's you spend a CP. I'm going to spend another CP to increase the number of shots.
Yes, good plan.
To 5. Transhuman on Custodies. Arcane Genetic Alchemy.
I was trying to pronounce it.
3's to hit you. I hit 3 times. And because Arcane, I wound on 4s. And I wound twice at AP -2. So 2 4-up saves.
Makes 1, takes 1.
And that's 3 damage.
3 damage.
And the stubbers come out. And they hit 3 times. These will be 5s to wound. And they wound once at AP -1. So 3-up save. So one of them is already down to 1 wound remaining, which is a shame because the Entropy Cannons do a lot of damage. Entropy Cannons, both hit. Target acquired, my friend. Force to wound. And a reroll wound rolls of 1. And that fails. Oh, no. Yeah, yes. It's a plague weapon, yes, so reroll wound rolls of 1 all the time, yeah. Tanks number 2 with the stubbers because there's 1 on 1 wound, 2 hits. 5's to wound, it's only strength 5, your toughness 6. No wounds, damn it. And it's not a plague weapon. Okay, the mortar. 5 shots again. Last time I had 3 hits, this time I get all the hits. All the hits, all the time. Can I make all the wounds on 4s? Please, Papa Nurgle. A reroll 1. No, just 3 6s there. 3. 4-up and burns. And 1 was on a wound, so he's wiped out. Dies. 1's down to 3 wounds remaining because they start off with 5 now. And then the Entropy Cannons reach out and touch you. But can they wound you on 4s? Rerolling 1s. 1. 4-up and vulnerable save or death. Death, unless you command point that.
I think that is worth a command point for 50-50.
Okay.
Death. Bait me and it's still dead.
2 of the bikes start.
Damn you, Winters!
Interestingly, that is my end of my shooting phase. Because I think everything is out of range. Let me double check. It looks like I'm out of range. No, I did have a couple of bolt guns in range which could fire down. And because the Vexillus is there, the banner, you count as in dense cover so long as you're within 6 inches of that.
Yep.
But I was still able to tickle this squad.
You did put your first wound on him.
Yeah, with 1 bolt gun, putting him down to 2 wounds remaining. And that is the end of Death Guard. Turn 1. We're establishing a perimeter here. We've taken out a couple of bikers. We're cheering on the Custodies to come at me. So let's see what they do in turn 1. So the emissaries Imperatus, heralds of the throne, move forward using the Callistus fighting style, which means they can advance and counter stationary, but they can't charge. Everything advanced. But because they counter stationary, they can still fire. The banner is here, giving the 6-up aura of -1 to hit. The injured squad have ran all the way up, getting a good advance, getting a couple of their Guardian Spears into rapid fire range. The biker with the shield captain is over here, and we have a Palace grav tank on the right flank, a Palace grav tank on the left flank. It's a pincer move from the Custodies tanks while the main block pushes straight through the middle of the battle grid. So Palace number 1 and Palace number 2 are targeting the same tank down behind Mortarion with the beam profile of their gun. They can fire a shot or lots of shots.
Yeah.
We're going to do them both together. It's 2 shots, isn't it?
2 shots per die on beams.
And you hit all the times because they're Custodies and they hit on 2s. Wounds on 5s. 2 wounds. AP minus a lot.
Yeah, -4, flat 3 damage.
5 up invulnerable saves. Don't work. Flat 3 damage becomes flat 2 damage because of Death Guard. So 4 wounds go on a tank. So one of the tanks is down to 8 wounds remaining. Then we have both of the salvo launchers on the bikes, or the bikes of salvo launchers, going down into the Terminators. We have rerolls because he gets a reroll because of him, and he gets a reroll because he's got the Warlord trait. So 2s to hit with the salvo launchers.
Hit.
And a strength 8, so you're winning on 3s. And they're AP -4.
No, we don't get rerolls to wound, do we? No.
Don't you get rerolls to wound? No. No, go straight through. I need a 4-up invulnerable save. And I fail my 4-up invulnerable save. This is D3 plus 3, right?
They are.
I think I'm going to command point that. And I make my invulnerable save. Moving along here to this squad, we've got 2 Guardian Spears in rapid fire range, which hit on 2s. All of them hit. Strength 4 versus toughness 6 right now, so 3s to wound. I am behind a barricade. I'm going to put it behind 5s to wound, sorry. I'm going to put it behind one of the ones on the barricade because it is AP -1.
Yep.
So go back to a 2, and I'm okay. Along the line to the Lastrum Spears. Are they both in range?
Both in range, 24.
Okay. 24, nice. Firing at the Terminators one more time. Hitting on 2s. Strength 8.
Strength 8.
Winning on 3s. And they both, well, 2 wounds. You can reroll that one.
No, you're right, that's cool.
So 2 wounds came through from both of the spears. They're -3, so I need 4-up invulnerable saves. And I make them as well. Next up, there's some Custodies down here that can see with either their spears or their axes. The ones at the front are the melter guys, but there's some that can fire. So they're going to fire down into the Black Lord Terminators. They hit on 2s. And you can reroll 1s because you're in range of...
Which is lucky.
Yes, of Trajan Valoris. And you're winning on 5s and rerolling 1s because you're in range of Trajan Valoris. So 2 wounds. Again on the dude in cover. 2s. I'm okay. Then the sisters fired in and caused no wounds to the Terminators. And interestingly, that is the end of Custodies turn 1.
Out of firepower.
You've put 4 wounds on a tank. And I tanked a lot of saves. They are disgusting and resilient. So we're going to go on to turn 2. But the interesting thing is, do I really want to throw my Terminators and Mortarion into this? Because if I do, I'm throwing about 1,000 points into about 1,500 points.
Yeah.
And I've got a feeling I know how that's going to go. So I might actually have to get cagey and start doing some manoeuvring, maybe? Tactics, as we go on to Death Guard turn 2. So here we are after the Death Guard movement phase. +1 to advance and charge and move for this open war game. Allow me to get a bit further round to this flank. See, the Custodies push that way. I don't want to hit all that rock in one go. I want to try and take it apart bit by bit by bit. And these fellas are going to be running for a long time now. Well, I mean, at some point we're going to meet up in the middle. And if the Dreadnoughts go that way, then of course they're going to get into combat effective range in turns 3 or 4. But yeah, I shifted round this way. I have already put Putrescent Vitality back on my Terminators. But I'm also going to do a little cheeky smite on this tank here with Mortarion. And that passes. Am I in 18-inch range as your sisters?
You are not.
Yeah, their -1 to cast is here, and I am outside 18-inch range, so that does 2 mortal wounds. And Curse of the Leper passes, and every dice roll that exceeds your toughness puts a mortal wound on you. Your toughness is 6, but it's reduced to 5 because of contagion range, so that's 2 more mortal wounds. Palace grav tanks do not have Aegis of the Emperor on their data sheet. That's the thing that gives them the shrugging of the mortal of the wounds. So that one wasn't 8 wounds. It's down to 4 wounds remaining. And then we go on to the shooting phase and Morty shoots it with a pistol and hits. And doesn't wound. Okay, tank number 1 is going to shoot its entropy cannons at this palace grav tank and the stubbers, and the mortar is going to go up and over and try and kill the last bike.
Normal bike, yeah.
Yes, because we add up all the points at the end.
We do, and
full
that's
units
a big
destroyed.
lump of points gone.
Yes, so here's entropy cannons at the tank. They both hit. They will wound on 3s because you're toughness 6. They both wound. 5 up and vulnerable saves on that thing. You failed them both. And this is D3 plus 3 for each gun. And interestingly enough,
it still kills it.
That's 8 wounds. It still does kill it. They start off on 8 wounds.
No, it doesn't.
The mortar goes up and over for 1 shot, which misses. Right, Mortarion, to charge that tank, it's 5 inches, 5 inches down, 1 inch in. For him to charge, he actually needs to get all the way around here. So I'm going to fire the entropy cannons from the second tank into that, so I don't have to charge it, and the mortar will go up and over into the bike one more time. Here's the entropy cannons on the second palace grav tank. They both miss. Morty's going to have to charge it. Here's the mortar. 6 shots. So 3s to hit. James March of War is not transhumaning this time because it's like 1 bike. Can it stay alive? Reroll wound rolls of 1 because it's a plague weapon. Only 2 wounds. You're going to stay alive. 4 up and vulnerable saves.
Makes 1, takes 1.
Yep.
So he's going to be alive on 1, isn't he?
It's going to be it's 2 damage, so it's going to be alive on 3 wounds remaining. He's fine.
He's fine. I'll leave him.
He's fine. You'll leave him?
With command points in it.
Then there's a couple of bolters here that can fire past this edge of this line of sight blocking ruin thing, which are going to go into the injured squad one more time. And the bolter weaponry was ineffective. And that's the end of my shooting phase. I've killed a palace grav tank, repositioning. Now we're going to charge this one with Mortarion. Would you like to Overwatch, sir?
No.
And I'm going to have to CP reroll that because I think it's a 6. It might be a 7. That's a 5. That's a fail. This grav tank
survives.
Will get away with it.
Lives to fight.
I did do the bolters. I did do the other incidental fire at the tank off camera. So it's still alive on 4 wounds left. Mortarion trips over his own shoelaces, but the battle lines, they're drawn. You went that way, I'm going this way. I'm being cagey. I'm not scared of you. But
a little bit scared.
No, it's tactics. I'm trying to draw you out.
Tactically repositioning.
Yeah, piecemeal. So let's find out how James responds, how the emissaries Imperatus.
I love how easy they are to say.
Let's find out what the Custodies do in turn 2. So here we are after the emissaries movement phase with the twist in this mission, +1 to advance, +1 to move. They're able to move a long way. And you've got Callista's fighting style stance 1, which is re-roll advances. So they've gone a long way. The bikes, the shield captain and the last Remainer biker look like they're eyeing up Mortarion for the charge. Everyone else in the middle advanced up into the middle, so there won't be any shots. Except for the unit that was injured here has come out this way, and that would typically be a 6-inch charge, but 5-inch charge because of this twist. This is your Dreadnought that dropped in.
Yeah.
And he's got an 8 or 7-inch charge? 8-inch charge.
Normally, +1 for the mission, +1 for his...
No, it's a reroll, isn't it? I think it's a reroll. Anyway, he's got like an 8 rerollable or a 7 reroll. There's some charges that can potentially hit on this flank as well. Contempted Dreadnoughts move 9 anyway. With the mission, they can move 10 and then re-roll the advances and then +1 to advance. So even though I thought I'd isolated them out on this flank, they're able to move straight through the arch straight away. And suddenly we have a large rock in the middle. We have threats on the right flank. We have threats on the left flank. This is the Dreadnought that teleported in. And lastly, the Alaris Terminator has also teleported in all the way in my backfield over there to come and trouble my tanks. The last interesting thing to note is that we're counting these ruins as 1 ruin that way and 1 ruin this way. So technically, the fellas in here and the ladies can't see through, but I can't see into them either. This is the squad of Sisters of Silence down here. So the Custodies are running through the stench and the sand to try and engage the Death Guard lines. But before they do, the bikes are going to unload salvo launchers into Mortarion.
Hitting on 2s.
And they both hit. Strength 8, toughness 8. They both wound. 4 up invulnerable saves. I believe these are D3 plus 3 damage. They're quite nasty. So I'd like to make some 4 up invulns. I make one fail one. I'm going to CP reroll that one. I make them both. Yay! We're going from that side of the battle grid round here to the Glatus Contemptor Dreadnought. The sword he has in his hand is wreathed in flame, and he presses the trigger, and 2d6 auto hits of flame wreath the Terminators. I said wreath too many times. That's 10 hits. It's strength 6. I'm toughness 6 right now because I'm a spell. So 4s to wound. Only 2 wounds at -1, and I make those saves. The Terminators walk through the flames. Then we're coming on to the squad nearby, firing rapid fire and pistol weaponry in on 2s, wounding on 5s at -1. 1 wound. I make that save. I keep making my saves, James.
You do keep making it. It's like you're disgusting and resilient.
I know, right? Then we had one last shot, because everything else advanced over here from the Terminator into the tank, and it just spanked off the armour. That is the end of the shooting phase. Actually, no wounds caused across the lines for the Custodies.
Savage.
It's I like the fact, well, in the movement phase beforehand, you had to have a proper stop and think.
Yeah.
Because instead of just rushing forward and going into a meat grinder in the middle, I'm trying to
make me think about it.
And
split my forces as well.
I saw you thinking about it.
I was.
You
could hear
thinking.
the cogs.
I could hear the cogs.
Like...
So we've got some charges.
We have.
So these units down here, where do you want to start with?
Let's put the Dreadnought in first.
8-inch re-rollable, we found out. And that's an 8.
He's in.
He goes charging in. And the squad next to it would be a 6 normally, but a 5 because of the twist. And they're in as well. So these 2 units engage the Blightlord Terminators. Then we came round here to the bikes. Both of them have engaged Mortarion. Then we're going to charge in with the Terminator into the tank on an 8.
Oh, double 1.
That's a double 1. Are you going to CP it? Okay.
I'll come to you. You're right.
All right, yeah. Cool. And that's a 7. He fails the charge. And then when we were doing all the charges, you remembered you hadn't fired your Palace Grav tank. So we'll do your Palace Grav tank. What does he want to shoot at?
I think he might as well hit the damage tank.
Okay.
On beam.
On 2s. Both hit. Strength 7. Toughness 8. No wounds. See, that's what happens.
Dice gods.
Yeah, Zinch says you
forgot me,
right?
And now you get nothing.
Where do you want to start? Bear in mind that I can interrupt with Mortarion or 10 Blightlord Terminators.
It's kind of a horrible decision, isn't it?
Right, where are we starting, James?
I think we're going to start with the Shield Captain on bike.
Why?
Because Morty's a monster and he's going to destroy him.
Also, the other thing that occurred to me is I don't think I can get all of Blightlord Terminators into combat if I pay to interrupt down here. And the Dreadnought should be able to take it.
Should take it.
Should be able to take it. He's -1 to hit with that shield. So your captain, 6 attacks as standard.
+2 for his Master Command ability.
Okay. So 8 attacks.
8 attacks.
Hitting on 2s. 2s to hit. Normally you'd be re-rolling.
So does he...
But you can't re-roll hits and wounds
against him. So it's not just the aura thing it switches off, it's actually his ability it switches off. Or is it the hits and wounds?
You cannot re-roll hits and wounds within 9 inches of Mortarion with a glow of blow.
That's what he does then.
+1 to wound, however. So it will be 4s with the spear. And you get 5 through. That's juicy.
It's actually reasonable.
4 up and vulnerable saves. I make 3 of them. They're only 2 damage. Mortarion reduces that to 1 damage each, and he shrugs on 5s. And he isn't injured.
Filthy.
He is disgusting and resilient.
Misericordia.
Oh yeah, Misericordias are free now. He hits 5s to wound. Doesn't wound. He takes it
like a boss.
Right, I think I might pay to interrupt now. So I am paying to interrupt with my Terminators now. I can't get the flails in. They were on this side, and it's the flails that would have done the damage. But everyone else here can attack the Dreadnought. The reason why I'm going against the Dreadnought is because of all their damage 2 weapons that these fellas have become damage 1 back against me. But the Dreadnought is tougher. And he's also -1 to hit with that shield, so I'm hitting on 4. So spending a CP for +1 to hit, Vermid Whispers, so I'm hitting on 3s. And I've got this number of axes and then a sword on the champion. So 3s to hit with axes. And then 4s to wound. No, 1 minute. It's 3s to wound. Because I'm +1 strength and +1 toughness with putrescent vitality. So my strength is 5. The axes are strength 7 right now. And your toughness 6.
6 and 6.
I'm going to win you on 3s. And re-roll some 1s. And there's
loads of 1s.
Many 1s. Much 1s. Big wow. Let's re-roll these ones. These are AP -2, by the way. 9 4-up saves. You only take 2 wounds. And then you shrug on 6s because he's a venerable dude. He's been around for a long time. Doesn't shrug any of them. Then I've got my champion with his sword. He will hit on 3s. And he will wound you on 4s, not 5s because of putrescent. Okay, 2 more 4-up and buns. That one's cocked. And then a 6-up shrug. So in the end, I only put 3 wounds on this noble hero. Now we do the Guardian Spears from the Custodies, hitting on 2s into the Terminators. They hit every time. These are wound on 3s into the Terminators. And they wound all the times. -2 is 4-up saves, and that will kill a Terminator. I'm not going to CP reroll at this stage because those 2 damage become 1 damage. Because I'm leaving it for the bad boy. Oh, you've got a sword in this squad as well. Sword and board hitting me on 2s. And because of my improved toughness, is winning on 4s this time. And you don't wound. Now we're on to the Dreadnought. He has 5 attacks. Plus D3 on the charge. +1 with Eternal Penitent. And that is 8 attacks in total. As he comes in like a wrecking ball. Name that song. Hit 7 times. Strength user. Strength 7. Toughness 6.
I'm singing it in my head now.
Came in like a wrecking ball. How many is that? That is 4. That's only 4.
It's not amazing.
4. You've killed 1 already. Each of these doing 3 damage, which would normally kill typical Terminators.
Normal Terminators.
But the Blight Lords are not typical Terminators.
They are not.
4-up invulnerable saves.
Ooh.
That kill 1, and the 3 damage will go down to 2 damage and put 1 down to 1 wound remaining. I'll take it. No CP rerolls.
I'm just going to say, I haven't done my Misericordias. Are you alright for me to do them? Do you want to change your mind?
Yeah, no, we'll do the Misericordias.
Do you want to reroll 1 based on that?
No.
This 1 knife
I
might just kill 1 more.
No, it's not going to happen.
It won't.
It won't happen. 2s to hit. These are 5s to wound, you see. Damn it, you wound me.
-2.
Yeah, so 4-up, I might reroll this one. I make it anyway. So we're going from this fight back to the fight with Mortarion. The captain was unable to injure him, but will the last surviving Virtus Praetor be able to injure him? Hitting on 2s, can't reroll the 1s. Morty shuts that off. Wounding on 4s because of the +1 to wound thing. 2 wounds come through.
2 wounds.
4-up and 1. And make both of them.
He is disgusting.
Now it's Morty's time to strike. He's got 7 attacks, which I can turn into 21 attacks, doing 1 damage. 21, it's crazy, isn't it?
That's just vile.
Or 7 attacks with an overhand swing. Now, in the command phase, he can point at a Death Guard unit and give him rerolls.
Right.
He pointed at himself because they were too far away.
Yeah, fair enough.
So he's hitting on 2s and re-rolling. I'm just thinking about where to split this. So the bike's on 3 wounds left.
Yep.
If one of these comes through, it does D3 plus 3. So I only need 1 to come through to kill that bike. So 3 on the bike, 4 on your captain.
Yep.
Hitting on 2s on the remaining bike. And it's strength 16. I think I'm winning on 2s. Right, 4-up invulnerable saves on the last remaining biker.
3.
Yes.
I looked roll him 1 at a time just to be annoying. No, he's dead.
He's super
really
dead. He's super dead. Now can your captain take it?
Oh, I don't want to know.
He swings silence. And he hits every single time. The sweep of death. The sweep of judgment. On 2s. Rerolling 1s, it's a plague weapon. 4-up invulnerable saves on your captain. He's got a lot of wounds. He might be able to tank it. He fails 2.
Command point one of those.
I should Coco. It works!
It does.
And he takes 4 wounds in total. D3 plus 3. And he survives the blow from a demon Primarch. And shield captains on bikes start off for 9 wounds. So he's on 5 wounds remaining.
Still there.
He's a tank. He's hanging in there. He's tied up Mortarion. And round here, you've tied up the Terminators as well. And I've done precious little damage back to this thing. I could fall back and shoot at them, but then they're not doing anything and they might get countercharged by the massive horde in here. You've given me some serious decisions to make now as the Custodies press towards the Death Guard lines in turn 3. The battle is escalating. The Death Guard are having to get extremely tactical, which means the Blightlord Terminators had to fall back. The idea is I can fall back and then rain in hate into the Dreadnought from the tanks and into the Custodian Guard that are stood there. I'm hoping that these 2 tanks can remove them, because if not, they'll still be there and my Blightlord Terminators will be in trouble. The Poxwalkers mean to charge, but he's got a flamey Sword of Doom, which will probably kill quite a few Poxwalkers if he overwatches in, because it's 2d6 auto hits, but they could potentially charge one of the Custodian Guard around the back instead.
As you fell back.
As I fell back, yes.
I spent a CP.
Right.
On
something.
The thing that lets me shoot you as you leave.
So you've got a strap that allows
I've got
to shoot.
Strap that lets me shoot you as you run away.
No, tactically
no,
reposition.
Run away.
Tactically. See, I'm allowing the shots for the tank, you see, the shells and the firepower to rain into the Golden Boys. And we can't shoot in a danger, in a red zone.
No, definitely.
No, broken arrow.
One CP.
Yes.
I can just fire as you leave, normal.
So who's firing?
So the I can only do it with the infantry squad.
Okay.
So it is the normal guys.
Okay.
In rapid fire range.
Okay.
2 shots from each guy. 2 shots from the pistol.
Right. 2's to hit. 5 hits. 5's to wound.
Now that's where we
4
weren't
wounds
expecting that.
at AP -1, because one's on 1 wound remaining.
That was the plan.
And you want to kill him.
I want him down.
So I need 3s.
You do.
Look at that.
Oh!
It's 2 damage each. That'll kill that one, and even if I CP re-roll it, he'll still die. So you do get perfect use of a command point there.
Spot on.
What's it called, James March of War?
Don't do that. You better not put the camera on me.
What's it called, James?
What it's called.
People want to know what it's called.
Everyone wants to know what it's called, and I can't remember. There you go. Rapid reactions.
Rapid reactions.
Movement phase as you fall back from engagement range. Shoot.
Rapid reactions. Okay, so that was a beautiful use of a stratagem there, almost as beautiful as this bunkered and reinforced terrain set that you can get from James from March of War. Okay, so that's what happened there. You killed one when I fell back. Over here, both of the units and the playcasters, the other one moving around here, got out to deal with this threat in my backfield. I don't want my tanks charged, and there's a lot of smite and damage that can come in.
There is.
And then the rhinos advanced up and over the ruin round there, look.
Building a wall.
Building a wall, because move blocking is a thing. Like I said, I had to get tactical, which means that these guys are going to have to go that way round or this way round if they want to charge Mortarion. And then your whole army-wide thing is you always fight first.
I do.
Right. Now, a foul Blightspawn has this ability. Well, he doesn't have the ability. He's got a relic. Revolting Stench Vats. While an enemy unit is within 6 inches of the bearer, that unit cannot make any use of any rules that allow it to fight first, and never counts as stationary. So you cannot select him to fight first. The thing is, if I charge something else, then charges fight, and then you could potentially select him, because then the fight firsts are done.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
So if I charge something else, so I needed him to be within 3, because he's got a core ability which points at a unit within 3 and says, you can't fight until all of my stuff is full.
So you can't even interrupt to break that.
Exactly. I've double tapped him.
To the back.
So Mortarion will be able to smush him first.
Yep.
See, it's like I've
planned
it.
You planned it.
Yeah.
Like organised
Yeah.
it.
So move blocking with Mortarion. Try and take out this squad over here. Try and take out that Terminator in the backfield. If I succeed all of this, the Wrecking Ball will still come charging through at some point, but I'm whistling away, diluting the Golden Host's push. Let's go on to the Psychic phase. Right, we're going to start with Delirium the Corruptor. I've made sure he's within 18 of them, so I can put Putrescent Vitality on them. And that passes their +1 strength and toughness again. Then I'm going to smite this guy in the corner down here who appeared from Golden Light. And that passes. D3 mortal wounds. For 1 mortal wound, which you shrug on a 6. Drop dice don't count.
Nope.
Takes a wound. Then Pestilential Fallout kicks in. Each time one of the Malignant Plaguecasters manifests a psychic power on 7 or more, it does an additional mortal wound, and that was like a 10 or something. Yeah. So another... No. So he takes another mortal wound, he's down to 2. This one is going to smite. So, because if I get a 7, this is D3 plus 1. Ooh. And that's a smite for D3 plus 1 with Pestilential Fallout is 4 6-up shrugs. And I take out the hilarious Terminator that appeared in my back line. So I had a firing squad lined up for him and everything. Coming across the Mortarion. I think that's all the psychic stuff. Yeah, Mortarion will smite in as well. And that fails because it was a 5, 6, 7. He will do Curse of the Leper. And that fails. So that's the psychic phase done. So he'll pull out a pistol and shoot him. And he hits on a 2. And it's strength 8. And he wounds. And it's minus a gazillion. You need a 4.
He makes it.
He makes it. Okay. Pistol shot to the face, but he dodges around on his bike. That is the end of the psychic phase and his first pistol shot. Now we're coming across to the foul blight spawn. He's going to spurt his spurt onto the tank. It's D6 hits, but it is upgraded to the viscous death, so I can re-roll this. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, it's 1 better. Shoo.
I have a rule, if 3 or less, they always re-roll.
Is it?
Yeah.
I like it. I'm going to wound on 3s, and I re-roll all wounds because of Arch Contaminator because of him. And that's -3, 2 damage a time. So he needs to make 4 5-up and vulnerable saves. You make 3 5-up and vulnerable saves, and it's still on 2 wounds remaining.
Still alive.
Which is highly annoying.
Still alive.
So the squad behind... I'm going to fire, both of the squads behind are going to fire all the things into him. I'm going to do the blight launchers together because they have got no other targets to shoot at. You're engaged in combat here, too far away to shoot there. So here's the blight launchers. They all hit. They'll wound on 4s and reroll 1s. Okay, so 2 more 4-up vulnerable saves. 4-up normal saves. No, 2 damage each. That's a dead palace. Does it blow up? You're right next to my stuff. It doesn't blow up. I've killed both palace tanks and a unit of bikes, and you haven't taken out a full unit yet.
Thing.
Is this what winning feels like? After our last game.
I don't feel bad at all after our last game. Our last game was brutal.
See, when this hits, I'm running out of room. Even if I manage to pull this off, in turn 3 you're going to hit something. In turn 4 you're going to hit something.
There's quite a lot more clear table behind me than you.
Yeah. Right. Now, part 3 is... Part 3? What am I talking about? Now we're shooting at these guys with the tanks. So what I'm going to do is spend a CP on Disgusting Force. So the mortar is 3 damage and it hits your Custodies.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to fire the Entropy Cannons and the Stubbers into the Dread. Yes. So you're spending a CP to put Transhuman or Genetic Alchemy on the normal guys. This is the number of shots that come in from the mortar. It's the big 6. It's the big 6, James, March of War. Who makes awesome stuff like this? You're talented, you know. Look at that.
Thank you, mate.
That's talent there. 3s to hit you. 4s to wound you now. And I reroll 1s. It is a plague weapon. So only 2 wounds. Is the shield's left alive?
There is the shield.
So 3-up save on the shield. Dead shield.
Oh no.
Tell a lie, that's 2 dead because it's 3 damage now. It'll kill the shield and kill another dude. More. Interesting. And then the Entropy Cannons are going into the Dread. 1 of them hits. It doesn't wound. The Stubbers are going into the Dread. 3 of them hit. 5s. 2 of them wound. And -1 on the Dread. So 2 3-up saves on the Dread. The dice have cooled down. It's only 1 damage. It's only 1 damage. You're going to get hit by 2 more Entropy Cannons, most likely. 2 6 shrugs, though. You get shrugs. Because he is a venerable lad. No. So he's down to 4 left. Yeah, because the next tank is doing the same thing.
Right.
So you want to keep the 4 up.
Save that one.
Right. Here's the... Shall we do the same into the him? Here's the Entropy Cannons into your Galactus Dreadnought. You ready for this?
Oh, I am.
3s to hit you. I hit you both times. 3s to wound you, James March of War.
Oh, only 1.
Command point? I need him dead. I'm going to command point hit. Damn it. Okay. So 4-up and vulnerable save.
Yes.
He's a problem, you know.
He is a problem.
He's going to be a problem. The mortar shell has 3 shots. It'll hit the Custodian Guard on 3s and wound him on 4s because it's transhuman. 1 wound on him. 4 up, save.
No.
He takes 2 wounds. The stubbers were going into him as well. I didn't declare it, and I said it was the same, so the stubbers are going into the dread. Don't be cheeky, Winters. 5s to wound the dread. 2 more wounds on the dead at -1. Okay, so that is the end of the shooting phase. It didn't work over here. I did kill 2 Custodian Guard.
Killed Terminator.
Killed a Terminator.
60-point Terminator, you know what I mean? It's not...
Now we're going to charge. I am going to charge the Poxwalkers around the Dreadnought.
So you're going to ignore the Dreadnought?
Well, he's got 2d6 auto hits with a Flamer at strength 6.
Yeah, that's alright.
You're going to wound me on 4s.
There's 10 of them. Get in with a couple.
And then he's got a gazillion attacks.
well, yeah, but... Oh, let me put it a different way. I think he can heroically intervene if I don't.
Yeah, but at least he won't be able to overwatch me.
No.
So I'm going to charge that one because I got +1 to charge because of the scenario.
Okay.
6? Am I 7 away? +1 to charge. So I needed to get within... I'm in. And then you found the strat. For Eternity of Heroes, a Custodies unit, any Custodies unit, can heroically intervene. So the Dreadnought
is back in the fight.
Is heroically intervene, which means I could hit the Dreadnought. That's it for charging stuff.
Yeah.
He can't be selected to fight first and can't fight art until all of my units are fought, despite the rules that he has to fight first, because he can never be selected to fight first.
Yep.
So I'm going to come back here and pile him with the Poxwalkers. See, if I pull this guy down on 1 wound, he becomes a Poxwalker.
Oh, he does. So you basically want yourself a shiny golden Poxwalker.
Yeah. Right, this is what it looks like after I pile in. They've got 2 attacks each, which hits on 4. So I've got 5 on one and 5 on the other. 10 attacks each.
Yeah.
And spending a CP on the mutant strain.
Okay.
Which means their virus is overloading them.
Right.
On 1s to hit, Poxwalkers die.
Okay.
But on 6s to hit, I do mortal wounds to you.
Oh! Which I hope I can shrug.
It's a mutant strain. Not the normal strain
No.
for Nurgle, it's a mutant strain.
Because obviously the normal Nurgle is very normal.
It's just fine. It's like a head cold.
Yeah.
It's like tummy upset. But this is, I want 6s and not 1s. So this is on the dude.
Yeah, so 2.
He's got 2 mortal wounds to make.
Which he shrugs on 6s.
And we make a shiny golden Custodies.
Nurgle Pox.
And then on the thing. I don't roll any 1s, but I do 2 mortal wounds on your thing.
So he shrugs these on 5s.
He shrugs these on...
Does he do 5s or 6s?
6s
to shrug mortals, No.
No, he takes 2 wounds.
Oh, no.
And this is in addition, but I need 6s to wound you now. I get another one. And that's a 2-up save. So your Dreadnought is down to 2 wounds remaining. This guy goes at the end of the fight phase, which is this the end of the fight phase, or after they're fought, I add 1 back.
Yeah.
But I haven't lost any yet.
No.
So I don't think
above starting strength.
No. Yeah, it just says if you destroy something in the fight phase, you add back. It literally uses those words.
Right.
So I'm not below any strength, so I can't add.
It's not at the end of the fight phase, so you can't maybe wait till you've lost some in a minute and have to add them back.
But anyway, after that unit is fought, I'll do my piling in thing. I'm trying to wrap you up a bit. Move 3 round here.
Yeah.
And we know Mortarion fights next, but we're going to find out what happens to the Dreadnought first. So he's got 5 attacks, +1 for Eternal Penitent, which is 6 attacks, plus D3. He's got 9 attacks. He's angry. He hits on 2s. That's many hits. Did you just roll 6 6s?
I think I did.
Nice.
It's a shame they don't do mortal wounds to you, isn't it?
2s to wound. That's 7 wounds. Each of these doing 3 damage. Now I can shrug on 6s, but every Poxwalker needs to shrug 3 times. So we did it off camera. Didn't pass any of them, but at least you're still tied up.
Still tied up.
The pluses as well as they're zombies. They're mindless. They don't take morale.
No leadership.
So I've tagged you. Can you fall back and charge? Have you got a
Can't fall back and charge, no.
Nice.
Oh, there's a guitar, but
There's a guitar.
But I've not got it.
Guitar.
I've not got it chosen today.
Okay.
Ducky, guitar.
Right. So Mortarion versus your captain, round 2.
Big deep breath.
Last time the swing was blowed. Your other guy died absorbing the swing of silence as it swept through. This is overhead, straight down, hitting on 2s, re-rolling because he wasn't in range of the Terminators to pimp them. What?
Yeah, no, it's alright.
What?
No, I was going to say I'm going to spend my 1 CP thing
to
turn off all... You can't reroll hits, wounds, or damage.
Okay, done. That's done because I also re-roll wounds.
Yes.
So 2s to wound. And I can't re-roll these because there's a strat that Custodies have for 1 CP, which turns off all hits and all wounds re-rolls. Yeah. It's broken. Hate it.
Should have transhumaned him as well.
Mind you, see, the reason why I say that is because
it's me, not you.
Stratagems that affect your other player are bad feeling strats. I'll give you an idea of that. Like, if there's strats or abilities that make my stuff better, or your stuff better, or your stuff can do this, or your stuff can do that, it's good. But the bad feelings ones are like, there's quite a few of them in the AdMech book as well, which is, oh, you're not doing this all of a sudden. Yeah. And Custodies have got a lot of the bad feelings ones.
Not getting to use something you've paid for is annoying, isn't it?
Exactly.
That's the thing, not getting to use something
I'm charging you, oh, here's Tanglefoot grenades.
Yeah.
Oh. Or I've paid for this upgrade so I can re-roll all the stuff. Well,
now it doesn't do anything.
You can't do it.
Yeah. No, do you know what? That's a good way of putting it into it. It is bad feeling strats.
Yeah, bad feeling strats. So I would, if Games Workshop are never listening to this, but if I was writing 40k rules, I would minimise the abilities and stratagems that negate bonuses that your opponent has.
It's a gotcha moment, isn't it?
It's a gotcha moment.
It's I've got this and it's cool and I'm looking forward to using it. No, you can't use it.
Yeah. Strats which say, look, everything is -1 toughness or everything is -1. So something like that is fine. But suddenly there's something that you think you can do. I can fall back and shoot. No, all of a sudden you can't fall back and shoot. I think those kind of rules.
I concur.
Right. 4 up and guys, good discussion.
That was. Should we actually roll these? I wasn't trying to prolong his life any longer.
I'm trying to build the tension.
You were. How many was it?
78.
2. 1.
4.
4. It's like I had the dice ready.
4 up and buns.
Command point. No. So
right.
He takes
D3 plus 3.
He's on 5.
Yeah. Can I re-roll the wound roll, the damage roll?
No.
It turns off the hit, the wound, and the damage roll. See, that's a bad feeling thing, isn't it?
CP.
So you're saying I need a 5 or a 6 to kill him?
No, you need
It's D3 plus 3.
Yeah, so you'll do it on...
A 5 or 6.
Yeah. No, you do it on 5 because...
Oh, yeah.
No, you only on 1 and 2, you'd fail.
So a 3 plus.
3 plus.
A 3 plus will kill him. Don't roll a 1 or 2, is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah. Go on, look, I can see a 1 just keeps appearing there. It's like I thought it really, really hard.
Well, that sucks. He's alive. What a hero. Right, he's got 8 attacks back because of his special warlord trait thing. He's hitting Mortarion back on 2s.
With no rerolls.
No rerolls. I've turned that off as well. So it sucks for other people too.
It's like I paid for it.
You didn't charge though. So it is 5 to wound. With no rerolls.
But we get 2.
You get 2. 4 up and buns. He stabbed Mortarion before. At 2 damage becomes 1 damage. Excuse me, I just farted. And a 5 up shrug. That's the 3rd time he's shrugged Mortarion and hasn't injured him. Misericordia. Hits. Doesn't wound. And that is the end of my turn 3. I've killed more things.
Even more
Both of your palace. And a suit, a unit of bikes, a full unit of Custodies over here. But your Dreadnought is still alive. Your shield captain is still alive. I've parked some tanks in front of you to try and slow down this relentless onslaught. I backed right up into the corner. Now it's time for the Custodies to herd the prey. In turn 3.
Indeed.
And so the emissaries Imperators continue their push. There is no units down in this entire quarter of the battle grid. The plan with the Dreadnought is to flame the Poxwalkers into close combat.
Yep.
And then in the charge phase, he can charge the Bloodlord Terminators, right?
Indeed, yes.
But you're also lining up multiple charges.
We've got the normal Custodian squad, we've got Trajan, we've got the Vexilla. I've ran the Wardens up a bit. I advanced them.
The Wardens that were here, they'd have advanced over there, so they're not charging.
They're not going to get the charge in, but they're now at least going to stay within Trajan to keep him protected from things shooting at him.
So if Trajan makes the charge, and I think we worked out it's like a 7-inch charge with the +1, then I won't be able to shoot Trajan, because bodyguard rule.
Yes.
These are the guys with the melters staring at a rhino.
And
the two dreadnoughts have been busting through these entrances
with
straight
their anthronific spears.
With the spears, yes.
And the destructor
what's the name of the spears?
The destructor.
Those ones.
Those spears. And then the little destructor wristy jobbers as well.
The wristy jobbers. That's exactly what they call them. Anthorific spears and
wristy jobbers.
And they're coming through that way. The sisters are here, and the Blade Guard champion, or the champion.
Yeah, the Blade champion. Yeah.
Blade champion is running this way because he means to get into the fight as well. He could pick on either Mortarion or the Foul Blightspawn.
Yeah.
Foul Blightspawn potentially could overwatch him, but he is a Custodes.
So that might help.
Yeah.
I don't know quite how tough the Foul Blightspawn is.
He's not tough at all.
So I'm thinking if I rattle the bolters
he's
from
a
the
Plague
sisters
Marine
into
on 4 wounds.
So so I'm going to struggle to kill him with 10 bolter shots from the sisters.
Yeah.
I might at least rattle him down enough if I can switch off his fight last thing.
If you kill him, then that's gone for the next wave that hits in. It's an interesting tactic.
It's all we can hope for.
So where would you like to start the shooting phase?
I think we'll start by flaming off the Poxwalkers.
Flaming off the Poxwalkers.
Because we're right at this end of the table and they're right at that end of the table.
So 2d6 auto hits. He's a vehicle flaming it. That's pretty good.
That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah. 3 wounds.
That's what we needed. Oh, that's not so good.
Well, there's only 3 there. I need to make a lot of 6s to shrug it. Yeah. Barbecue Potsquarter time.
That's them out of the way.
And with a flaming sword. And with a flaming sword, the Glatis Contemptor Dreadnought takes out the first of the Death Guard squads. Now we're going on to the Guardians with Melter Spears. Putting all the shots into the Rhino.
Yeah.
I'm not popping smoke.
Are you sure?
Well, you've got minuses. Well, that would be -1 to hit, but you ignore all minuses to hit.
And wounds.
So 3 shots, hitting on 2s. And I meant 1 shot each, so it's 3 shots hitting on... Yes, and it's a melter, it'll wound on 3s. And I don't get a save, and each one is d6 plus 2. 10 wounds to get through. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's a dead Rhino.
Yes.
Which doesn't blow up. Now the sisters are rapid firing the Foul Blightspawn.
Yep.
On 3s and 5s. They get 3 wounds through. 3 up saves. He takes a wound, he's on 3 remaining.
Yeah.
After the Foul Blightspawn took a wound, the Dreadnought in the doorway is firing at the second Rhino.
Indeed.
With a spear first.
Spear first. 2 shots.
Both hit.
Strength 8.
Oh, toughness 7.
Both wound. -2, flat 3 damage.
So I need 5s. Flat 3 damage.
Flat 3 damage.
Now, the Rhinos are the only thing in my army that doesn't have disgustingly resilient. They have contagions, but not disgustingly resilient. So that is 4 wounds remaining. It's a Rhino.
But then off of his wrist, we have the Twin Adratic Destructors. You make me read it rather than say it because it's so wrong.
Go on then.
Assault 2. There's 2 of them, so 4 shots.
Is it? Nice.
I think they are. Do they get 2? They get 2 Lastrum Bolters, which you can upgrade to the Twin...
Those ones.
Yes, so that's 4 shots.
2s to hit.
Is he in range of Trajan? No.
No, if you're in 9
I'm also within 9 of you.
Yeah,
so
Morty, then no rerolls.
No rerolls.
Strength?
5.
Okay.
Nothing.
Oh. So it's still on 4 wounds.
Still on 4 wounds. Second one, rinse and repeat.
Do the same.
Do the spear.
Here's the spear. 2s.
Hits.
And then 3s. And then I need 5s. And it's a dead Rhino. I can automatic blow up, I think.
I think you can.
It could hurt Mortarion. So just checking things with the rules. Costs 2 CP to blow up. Put me down to 4 remaining. And I'm going to blow up.
He's going to blow up.
It will do D3 wounds to everything within 6. And it will hit Mortarion and the Foul Blightspawn. So if you'd like to hurt Mortarion on 1 dice, D3. And he shrugs that on a 5. Yes. He takes his first wound.
First wound. Don't like you.
It will also hit the Foul Blightspawn. I figure he's dead anyway because of the charge. But if you roll a 5 or 6...
Yes!
Like that.
Yes! Down you go!
He dies in the explosion.
Okay. See, I'd like you to roll a 1 for my shield captain, though, because I might be able to shrug it.
You might be able to shrug it. It will kill your shield captain.
Oh, it's going to be a 5. No,
and do 2 mortal wounds to him.
No,
dead shield captain. Him, your champion.
Yeah.
2 mortal wounds to your champion. He takes 2 mortal wounds. Champion starts off on 7 wounds. We've got 5 left. Right, the sisters. They can't shrug anything because they don't have Aegis. 2 of them die in the explosion.
I like it.
Dreadnought number 1 takes 2. Dreadnought number 2 is in range. Takes 3. So the front one shrugs 1. The back one doesn't shrug any. Boom. Big explosion as both of the rhinos detonate, finally injuring Mortarion with a piece of shrapnel and taking out not only the rhinos, because you've now taken out Poxwalker, Rhino number 1, Rhino number 2, and a 5 Bloodspawn. You're killing the whole units here, but in return I've taken out your shield captain, who was proving quite stubborn.
He was quite a beast.
And I've injured some stuff as well.
The plus point is I've also taken out your fight last bubble.
You have?
Which is,
but I think only he's going in. I mean, this guy's got a long charge to get around. It is +1 to charge though, so
we're on like a 9 down to an 8.
Okay.
Maybe. We'll check it properly in a
anyway,
second.
We've got some more shots with some guns this way going into the Blight Lords.
Yes.
And so Trajan and the Vexilla and the squad fired through, killing one of the injured Terminators who was down a wound or 2, leaving 6 of the Blight Lord Terminators remaining, and that is the end of the shooting phase. Your most successful shooting phase.
That's the best bit so far.
The Custodies are more dangerous the closer and closer they get.
They are.
But now we're going to charge. Start off with the Dreadnought 5-inch rerollable charge.
He's in on an 8.
Oh yeah. Next, this squad over here is going to be 6. It would be 7, but the scenario... That's a 4.
Not keen.
Do you want to hold on to that reroll?
I do, because I want Trajan in.
Trajan's a 7, right?
He's a 7.
Trajan doesn't get in.
Reroll.
It's just the Dreadnought on his own at the moment. Trajan gets in with the CP reroll. The Vexilla is also trying to get in. I think it's an 8 or a 7. We'll roll it and then we'll figure it out. That's an 11. He's in anyway. So you have got 3 units in with the Custodians, with the Blight Lord Terminators. Around here. The Blade Champ versus Mortarion. 9. He's a brave little guy. Look at him go.
He is. And then is
the champion
Dreadnought going to come in?
Okay, the only Dreadnought that can make it. It's blocking the path of the other one. No. That's a 7. That's a failed charge. Now you may fight first everywhere. I could Fate Interrupt. I've got 3 CP now left. So where would you like to start? I mean...
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? He's going to... I don't know.
Yeah.
I might let him see how he rides it out, because he's got minuses to be hit. So
okay.
I think we've got... Let's put the boss in. Let's put Trajan in first.
You have to, don't you?
You've got to put Trajan in first, because he's so angry.
With Trajan Valoris. Trajan has 6 attacks. 2 hits on 2s.
Rerolling runs.
Does he?
Yes.
So he rerolls hit rolls because of its Warlord trait, not because of a core thing.
Thing. So we make it with all of them, didn't we?
There was a reroll.
Oh, that was it. He makes it with all of them.
Now,
sweet. 6.
Strength 92, strength 10. But I'm toughness 6 right now. So it's 3s to wound. He doesn't reroll wounds.
No.
And then -3 damage. That's 5. He can fight again once with his moment shackle.
He can.
So I need 4 up and buns. I make 4 of them. And those 3 damage become 2 damage.
So he half kills one guy.
He grazes one, but doesn't take one out.
Scratches it.
Then we remembered his Misericordia, which hit and wounded after I piled in. So, do you kill one? It's AP -2? That does kill one. Unless the CP reroll it. Because I want to spend... No, it's fine. You can... Yeah, let's reroll it. He's dead anyway. I've got no CP and I'm paying to interrupt.
Yeah.
Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything but 1 flail into the Dreadnought. Because the Dreadnought's scary. It's got a minimum 7 attacks? Yeah. It could be 9. And the other flail is going to go into the Vexilla who has 4. I know Trajan could choose to fight again. But
I'm going to waste his 1 time of battle.
Yeah, it's once per battle. So, everything into the Dreadnought but 1. Let's start off with the flail that is hitting the Dreadnought. On 4s, because he's -1 to hit. This is strength 5. Your toughness 6 right now, so I need 5s to wound. And I reroll 2 wounds. Drop dice don't count. At -2. 2 damage. which become 1 damage.
Yes.
So he can shrug that on a... Well, he can shrug that on a 6. Damn it.
He does.
Okay.
Like a boss!
This is... Maybe I should have put everything into him. And then I've got 3 axes. Just trying to take him out.
So angry.
I should have overkilled him. Right. Strength 7. Toughness 6 right now. Everything wounds. And -2. So 5. 4 up saves. And you need to make 2 6s to keep him alive.
These 2 damage each.
1 damage each. You could command point reroll one of them.
On the Vexilla?
On him.
Oh, is this on the... Oh,
this
right,
is on
sorry,
him.
yeah, sorry, yeah. Go on command point one of those.
Yes.
One of the fails. So that makes an extra one, so 1 set of 2.
So only 1.
1.
Which he shrugs anyway.
Shrugs as well.
So everything into the dread didn't wound the dread.
Bounced him.
Okay, the rest is going into the Vexilla.
So tough.
He is so tough.
Want some more?
I hit him on 3s. I am strength 5. Your toughness 4 right now because of contagion. So I wound you on 3s and reroll 1s, and there's 2 2s. 2 4-up saves on your Vexilla. And that is 4 damage. I think he might still be alive.
I think they have 5.
Maybe. Vexilla's have 6 wounds now, so he's still on 2 wounds remaining. I paid a lot of CP to do 0 damage there. And now we can continue with this fight with the Dreadnought. Let's see how many extra attacks he gets. He's up to 8 attacks now, which will hit on 3s. Or 2s, sorry. It does have core. You reroll one. Nice. Strength 7, toughness 6, wounding on 3s. And you reroll 1s because he's core.
No.
Is that 5 wounds?
That's 5 wounds.
5 invulnerable saves. Coming up. There you go.
Oh!
Do you want to do the axe fella?
Yeah,
let's do the axe fella.
Quickly while we do
Maybe this is going to be a bit of a slap fest.
I think we're just going to stand there beating each other for a bit.
That sounds a little bit
It did
rude.
sound rather rude.
4 attacks with the Vexilla. Hitting all the times at strength 8, wounding on 3s.
Strength 7, but...
Oh.
Are they? Strength plus 3.
Yeah,
so
we're still wounding on 3s. I'm
with
toughness
3.
6 right now.
And I'm not re-rolling those, so only 2 of them.
4 up and buns. 2 damage becomes 1 damage. I'm okay. Basically... Oh yeah, Misericordia.
Trajan did his, didn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
Hits. Doesn't wound. So an unstoppable force meets an immovable object here, and 1 Blightlord Terminator falls, and that is it. What was that?
Just up. It's not really like the rock and a hard place. It's like a massive hammer and a lump of butter.
Can you smell what the Death Guard are cooking?
Yes, I can.
Now we're going to find out what a champion does versus Mortarion. So he's got 3 profiles that he can pick from. You're going with Beamor, the top one.
Yeah.
Because force to hit, auto wound.
Yes.
It would be 2 damage, but 1 damage against me. But try to get as much through as you can. And that is 5 hits. 4s will auto wound.
4s will auto wound.
So -4, but 4 up and vulnerable saves. And that does 2 damage because 1, 1. So shrugging them. You bleed him.
You get him a bit. And then I need to roll to wound.
No, they auto wound.
They are auto wounds.
Yeah.
Yes, that's all right then.
So cause they wound.
It's not instead. It's yes.
Yeah.
Good. Yes.
Now, overhand swing. I shall strike you back.
And smush him into the table.
On 2s.
Wait.
What?
Wait. So,
Yes.
each time a melee attack is against this person, unmodified 1, 2, 3s always fail.
Okay, well I'll re-roll the 1.
Yep.
So I only hit you
Just
6
that
times.
one. Only need 6.
Re-roll the 1 because I can re-roll 1s.
Yeah,
2s to wound.
Yep.
Strength 16. Can I re-roll any of them? Right. You haven't spent the CP on stopping me re-rolling.
No.
Okay, so 5 4 up in ones. You make 4 of them. Command point.
How much
Have you
damage?
spent 1 D3 plus 3 again? So basically, if I get a 3 up, he's dead.
Yeah, I'm going to command point it. He's fine.
Can your characters stop hanging around with Mortarion? They should supposed to be dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like they're tying him up, waiting for something to happen.
So that's the end of the fight phase. You've tied up Mortarion with your champion, waiting for something to happen, which is the inevitable push through with the dreadnoughts in the backfield. And the Death Guard are backing up and backing up and backing up into the corner of this battle grid as we go on to turn 4. Here we are after the Death Guard movement phase. They've been forced back into a corner, which is not necessarily where you want to force the Death Guard. You've come into my trap. That's the way I see it.
He's protecting his sons there. He's leaving himself stood out front.
Well, he's not backing down, and both of the Plaguecasters are now in Pestilential Fallout range of him.
Yeah.
The intention is to kill him with psychic stuff, which will be -1 to cast because the sisters are right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then jump Mortarion over and up and smack the hell out of that first Dreadnought.
Yeah.
And then use the tanks to kill the second Dreadnought.
I think that might work.
You see what I mean? That's a plan.
Yeah. Tactics.
So let's do that. First up, I shall try and smite you. It'll be a 6 to cast because of your sisters. And that passes. You have got dice to deny, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm going to do the strat to deny.
They don't auto-deny, but they do have a strat.
They don't have a deny, but they can do the strat.
Yeah. 4 up on the strat.
No.
Don't deny it. And this does D3 plus 1 mortal wound because of Pestilential Fallout on the champion.
And he doesn't ignore any of it.
He's on 2 wounds remaining. And then the second power he's going to do is Miasma of Pestilence on Mortarion, so he's -1 to hit. And that fails because it's -1 to cast. Yep. Right, the next one.
You have got 1 CP, remember?
It doesn't matter. The next one is going to smite. I've got a lot of psychic stuff. The next smite's coming in 5, 6. So I need a 6. No, that fails. And he's going to put Putrescent Vitality. The Terminators are too far away on that closest squad. And that passes. And that does another mortal wound to him. Which you ignore on a 6. Nope. No, putting him down to 1 wound remaining. Then Mortarion will smite him. 5, 6, 7 to cast. And -1 because of them. That's a pass. D3 on him. 1 mortal wound.
Oh.
And Mortarion looks at him and says, "Now you die." The champion is removed. Mortarion uses his second power. I need a 7 to Curse of the Leper, the sisters.
And they can't be the target to anything.
Oh, yeah. Well, Curse of the Leper has to hit the closest eligible unit. So if they're not eligible, which means it hits the Dread, and then I need to exceed your toughness, and I can't exceed your toughness, so it does no damage. The sisters' pariah gene just stops that power. Interesting. So that's the end of my shooting phase, psychic phase. So let's shoot some guns instead. His guns are a flat 3 damage. So he's going to fire his pistol down at the Wardens.
Yep.
And he hits. And he won't. Oh, he doesn't wound. It's strength 8. He doesn't wound them. His pistol's not done anything.
The lantern has been failing.
The lantern has been failing indeed. So now I'm going to have to line up some more shots. Right, okay, so the plan is to kill this Dreadnought. So, Entropy Cannons, it's only got 6 wounds left because of the explosion.
Yeah.
So, Entropy Cannons into the Dread.
Into the back one, yeah.
And Stubbers into this one.
Yeah.
The Mortar will go into the guys with the Melters. They are in cover though. So, here's the Entropy Cannons. They both hit. I need 3s to wound you. And I reroll 1s. They both fail to wound you. Stubbers into the sisters. And 3s to wound and -1 on the sisters. So 4 up saves on the sisters. They're okay. Right. The mortar onto the melter Custodies is 6 shots. And I'm hitting on 3s, and you're spending the CP on Arcane Alchemy one more time. So I need 4s to wound you, re-rolling that. Arch Contaminator from Mortarion only affects core units, so only 2 wounds get through. But 3 up saves because you're in cover, sir.
Makes 1, takes 1.
D3 damage. Oh no, it's 2 damage now. It's just a flat 2 damage. So 1 is on 1 wound, unless you CP reroll. But there's more shots coming.
I'm going to let that roll. Yeah. No, let that roll.
So 1's on 1 wound. The other tank, I have lined it up perfectly so it can see all these targets again.
Yeah.
Is doing the same thing. Let's start with the mortar again into those Custodies. This time I need 2 shots. 3s. And 4s. 1 more wound. And you make the saves because you're in cover.
Yeah.
-2. No, you need a 3 -2 becomes -1. Yeah, you save it. You
Yeah.
save it. You're fine.
I'm alive.
You're fine. Stubbers. Into the sisters. No wounds. Damn it. Entropy cannons into Dreadnought. 2 hits. 3s to wound Dreadnought. Damn it. 1 wound. CP. 2 wounds. 2 5-up and vulnerable saves on the Dreadnoughts.
Ooh.
Because I got CP back this turn, so I was able to. Yes. D3 +3 on that Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Command point? No? Yes. You've got 3 left over there because you've been gaining them back because of Trajan. No.
No.
Okay. It is reduced damage by 1. So that is a 5, which becomes a 4. And that is a 4, which becomes a 3.
7, and he's on 6.
And then you get to shrug. 7 shrugs. He needs 2 6s. You only make 1 6. It should feel no pain.
Yes.
So that's a dead Dreadnought.
And I think they explode as
They
well.
do explode right next to your lines.
Oh, he does explode.
Kaboom. What have we discovered, James March of War?
It turns out they explode 6 inches.
And it's D3.
D3 mortal.
Because little baby Dreadnoughts is only 3-inch one.
Yeah. They're
Okay.
little baby Dreadnoughts, but they've got some obviously.
Hit your sisters. Do you want me to hurt you or do you want to hurt yourself?
Yeah, you hurt me. Hurt me good.
Okay. Sisters. Only 1 damage. You're okay. One of the sisters gone. The Dreadnought right in front of it.
That's totally going to be a 3.
It's only a 1. You can shrug that on a 6. You'll be fine. You're okay. So that one's down to 7 wounds remaining. Now the Melter squad, and one of them's on 1 wound. 3 wounds.
3 wounds.
3 shrugs.
No.
Ooh, mama.
So
Anyone else?
Back down to 1.
Oh, look, that squad over there as well.
They're in as well, definitely.
And that's really cocked. And there's only 1 wound on the other squad.
Which they take as well.
When the smoke clears, it looks like this. Casualties taken all across the line. Then we come to the Plague Marines, who have got some really bad line of fire because I have tactically repositioned right into the corner. Turns out a couple of shots can hit the Dreadnought, a couple of shots can hit the sisters, and that's about it. Paltry bit of firepower came out. Sisters made the saves. I wasn't able to damage the Dreadnought, and that is the end of my shooting phase in turn 4. So now we intend to charge. It's quite a long charge to that Dreadnought.
Because you've got fly, you can go straight over the bunker, +1.
Well, you have to actually measure that,
of course
right?
you do.
With fly now. So
it's
it's
on
going
the
to go around, and it's a 9 to hit you. It was a 9 to hit me.
Yes.
Oh, +1.
+1.
Yeah, because the thing. Or I could just charge the sisters. Well, I want to hit the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought's going to hit me.
Yeah.
So let's see if I can get an 8 or 9, and then we'll measure it. That's an 8. And it's +1, so 9. Can I move? So as long as I get within...
You're in on a 9, definitely.
Yeah, Mortarion gets in.
He's in.
You ready?
No.
2s to hit you.
Big deep breath.
Oh, drop dice don't count.
I'm going to stop you.
Yes.
Because I've got to fight first.
Hello, what? Oh
And
yeah,
just
you get to fight first.
But it puts us equal.
Oh, you got fight first. I got fight first because I charged, so it goes with the active player. So I fight first.
So does that? Yes, that's fine.
Yes.
Yes. I was just checking because in case you wanted to do.
You've got fight. Well, I can't fight first. I haven't got any fight first over there.
No, so we are stuck up here.
Yeah.
And it is your turn with the active.
So this is my only fight first.
So doesn't it make it defenders fight first?
No. I've got a fight first. Charging units count as a fight first. Yeah. This is an interesting thing.
And mine cancels yours.
Charging units fight first. These are fight normally, but it goes with defenders first.
Yeah.
So mine goes fight first. You also have a fight first.
So
but whenever someone has the same rule, like a fight last, fight first, fight first, the way it works is if you have this exactly the same rule as me, it goes with the active player.
Okay.
So say I'm shooting you, and you've got
right. Okay, so it doesn't go back to normal order of play. It doesn't go to defenders fight first because it's a cancellation, not just a return to normal. The cancellation puts you as the active player to go first.
Yeah, I pick a fight first unit.
Yes.
You have a fight first unit.
Yes.
I can go first.
Cool.
This is not a fight first unit.
No, that's fine.
You have got 3 fight first units there.
That's my brain.
But I can't pick them.
No.
I can pick my only fight first unit.
Got you.
And so 2s to hit you. Rerolling 1s because he told himself to do all the rerolls. And strength 16.
Yeah, toughness less.
Reroll 1s because it's a plague weapon. So there you go. and bajillion 5 up and vulnerable saves on the Contemptor. 7. He only has 7 attacks. The magic number. You make a chunk of them.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
But...
And that does 6, 12, 18 shrugs you've got to make. You don't make all the shrugs, but does it go kaboom? It doesn't go kaboom, and I take out the second dreadnought. Just for a little bit of spite.
Pile into the sisters.
And pile into the sisters. I think they get rerolls against psychic units.
They do get, something.
Or something against psychic units.
Or something
but they're not a fight first unit. Now we come around here. All your units may be selected to fight first. Now the interesting thing is, fight first, fight first, fight first. Before I get to fight.
Yeah, and no interrupt.
No interrupt. I'm going to CP.
So D3 extra attacks on the Dread?
Yes.
For 1 this time, so he's only on 7.
Plus his extra 1 for it, 7 in total. He hits on 2s. He rerolls 1s because we found out his core.
Yes.
He wounds on 3s. Okay, so 4 wounds. 4 up and buns. Right, that kills. It's 3 damage. 1's on 2 wounds, so he's dead, and that kills another one. So there are only 3 Terminators left. Then Trajan has 6 attacks. He hits on 2s, and he'll wound on 2s this time because I'm not increased toughness. 5 wounds. Doesn't reroll wounds. He rerolls hits. 4 up and buns again. And that is 3 damage, becomes 2 damage. He skins 1, but doesn't kill 1. 1's on 1 wound left. Misericordia hits. Doesn't wound. Interesting.
And then the last axe.
I know it's strength 5. What did you get to wound? Was that a 4? 2. Oh, right, okay,
yeah.
The last axe. 4 attacks. 2s to hit. And 3s to wound. Everything wounds. This is going to be painful, maybe. 4 up and buns. That'll kill the injured one and put 1 down to 2 wounds remaining. There is a morale to take on this squad. That's what it looks like. 2 Misericordias.
Reroll ones, which is lucky. See, that's what happens when you...
And fights?
5s.
No. Okay.
It's lucky they're free, isn't it?
Piling in and stuff. Right. One of the flails is going to hit the Dreadnought because it worked so well last time. The other flail will hit the...
Splitting fire mates.
Yeah.
Always the way.
The other flail will hit the guy with the big banner. He's on 2 wounds remaining. Here's the attacks on the big guy with a banner. I hit 3 times. I will wound him on 3s because of contagion and... Okay, so 3 at -2, 2 damage. The banner guy gets taken out.
He's out of there.
He's only got 2 wounds left.
He has.
Then the Dreadnought, 5th time lucky.
I really want him to explode if he does.
I hit 3 times. 5s to wound. I wound him twice.
4 ups.
That will kill him.
That will kill him no matter which way around I do that.
Well, it's 2 damage, which becomes 1 damage, so it's only 2 get through. If you CP reroll, have you done a CP reroll? You haven't. No, if you do a CP reroll, you will keep him alive. That's really cool.
Most cock dice ever.
I know.
He's still dead.
No. So 2 6s to shrug him. 1 6 and he's alive. No, I finally take that Dreadnought down. Does he go boom?
Importantly, no.
And that is the end of my
turn
4. So Trajan led a charge into the Blightlord Terminators, and he is the last man standing from that charge. The Blightlord Terminators pass morale, just.
That was close.
Their leadership, 1 minute. They might only be leadership 8 because I took my dude away. No, I'm okay. I lost 3 this turn. 5 plus 3 is 8. Their leadership 8. They hold. Phew. Okay. So Trajan's the only one left after leading that charge through. You still have a unit here. You still have a unit here. You still have the Melter guys there. Mortarion and the tanks have taken out the 2 Terminators. Oh, we need to do the fight back with the sisters. They have 5 attacks because the Superior's still there and they're hitting on 3s. Oh, 1 hit. They're strength 3 but plus 1 to wound against demons.
No.
Oh. Okay, so the sisters fall. They're not here for that sort of shenanigans. So the sisters fought back. We are moving on to turn 4. It is looking desperate for the Custodies. However, apart from those Terminators and those tanks and Mortarion up there, just scattered units, the rest of my core is hiding, tactically repositioning back in the corner down here. I've got very little left as well. So let's see what the Custodies can do in turn 4. So a quick Custodies movement phase. The sisters fall out of combat from Mortarion. And we have 1, 2, 3 squads closing in for the kill on the Demon Primarch. Meanwhile, Trajan Valores continues to battle the 2 remaining Blight Lord Terminators. Shooting phase, we have 2 Melter Pyrite Lancers aiming at Mortarion. And one of them hits and one of them misses.
No rerolls.
And it doesn't wound.
Oh, got it.
Then we're going to do the 2 squads together, firing everything at Mortarion. So 12 shots in total on 2s. And 6s. 3 wounds. I need 4s. Ooh. 2 damage becomes 1 damage. So shrugging.
Oh, you are disgusting.
And resilient. And then you charge. With everything. But there's a certain Qatar that's happening right now.
Well, happened at the beginning of the phase, but I forgot to tell you. So I moved my Dactari into stance 2.
Stance 2.
Which means that all their damage is reduced to 1, but they gain an attack per person.
Right, that's perfect against me because I reduce all damage.
So it's done for me. I've done it for you.
So extra attacks at 1 damage instead of less attacks at technically 1 damage.
Yes.
Cool. And they all fight first. So this is going to be nice.
Add some maths up.
All right, we're starting off with the Wardens with their axes. 4 attacks each, +1 because of the Qatar. 5 attacks each, 15 attacks. Hitting on 2s. Nice. There's strength 8, toughness 8, winning on 4s. 7 came through, the blessed number. 4 up, invulnerable saves. And then, does he shrug him? He doesn't. No, he's down to 13 left. Then you're going to this squad, which has 9 attacks, up to 12 attacks because of your Qatar, and you're spending a CP on Slayer of Nightmares. So they're wounding on 4s as well instead of wounding on 5s. 2s to hit. Everything hits. 4s to wound. Another 7 wounds.
Another 7 wounds.
A blessed number twice.
It's like it's meant to be.
Oh dear.
It is meant to be.
Shrugging.
Oh, really?
Right, then we're spending CP on Honour the Fallen.
Yes.
So they get an extra attack each because someone's died.
Yes.
So these 2 fellas have got 10 attacks. They hit on 2s. Ooh, 9 hit. And they're winning on 5s. Only 2. Shrug. No, you take a wound off of Mortarion. We forgot to do the Misericordias.
First.
Here's the 3 that I've got +1 to wound. 2 of them hit and win on 4s because of the +1 to wound. And I make the save. And then these ones are 5s to wound. 1 wound. And I don't make the save. And I don't shrug it. He's down to 10 remaining.
So tough, isn't he?
He is tough.
He's so hard.
It's like he's a Primarch. Was that James Marchable?
I was feeling really optimistic about that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he is the Crusher of Dreams, the Lord of Death. You do have a fight first unit down here, though.
We do.
And his name is Trajan Valores.
6 attacks. All hits.
Everything hit. Wounds on 2s. 4 wounds. 4 dice. 4 up and buns. That 3 damage becomes 2 damage and kills that 1. Now I get to fight. Misericordia.
Reroll.
Hits. Wounds.
Yes.
I make the save. Now I get to fight.
Now you get to fight.
I will flail you, sir. On 3s. Everything hit. Strength 5. Toughness 4 right now.
Yeah.
Wounding you on 3s. And I reroll 1s. Because it's a plague weapon. 5 at -2. That's 6 damage. Trajan has 2 wounds left. We come back to Mortarion. This is interesting, isn't it? I have 7 attacks.
The one plus point, they're not all one squad.
No.
So you can't kill all of them.
Well, I can try.
But you could try.
What I'm going to do is I'm only going to put 2 attacks into these guys.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put 5 attacks into the Wardens because they have more attacks.
Yep.
They have the same number of saves, though.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the 2 attacks into the 2-man squad. You need to make 4 up invulnerable saves, or they die. They're okay.
They're all right.
They're okay. If I'd have put them into the Wardens, they'd have been okay as well.
I'm going to spend my last CP to switch off your rerolls.
Are you?
You cannot reroll hits,
wounds,
or damage.
That helped.
So far.
That helped again. 3 saves. I killed 2 Wardens.
2 Wardens. Oh, they get 5.
All right. So the first one needs to make 5 saves. The second one needs to make 4 saves. They could live.
They could live. So what's that? 5 first?
5 on one. Dead. 4 on the other one.
I didn't need to roll these, did I?
No. Ooh, he's still dead. He's still dead.
They don't have 4 wounds.
That's the end of turn 4. Unless you want to fight again with Trajan Valoris. He's got his Misericordia thing. You're holding on to it for one last save or something. I mean, if you do fight again, potentially I can shoot him because I've got tanks.
And if you move out of combat, you can still shoot him.
Decisions.
It is. I'm going to keep his moment shackle.
You can keep his moment shackle.
Yeah.
So we have Trajan Valoris tied up with the last of the Terminators. We have everyone else except for the sisters tied up with a Demon Primarch. This battle has been one stinky bloodbath of doom. Now we head for the end game. Turn 5. Here we are after my movement phase. Not one step back. Nothing moved. Except for a Blightlord Terminator who's wandering over that direction, wondering where the pox will go.
Looking for the nerdlings.
Then we did some psychic stuff. I did very little psychic stuff because sisters are right in front of me and I didn't want to perils, and so no wounds were caused anywhere, and Mortarion not one step back. Now we're going to go on to the shooting phase. He's going to point the lantern down at that Warden and this time the lantern will hit and wound on a 2, and it's -3 damage, and you make the save. So at least it hits this time, but bounces off his golden armor. Right, shooting phase. All of the Plague Marines are going to fire everything at the sisters, and the sisters get wiped out. Now we're on to the tanks, looking at Trajan Valoris.
Yeah.
So everything from tank number 1.
Yeah.
Here comes 2 Entropy Cannons. One of them hits and wounds. 4 up invulnerable save.
Oh.
That's a 1. So we've learned that the moment shackle has changed.
Yep.
When you fail a saving throw, the damage of that weapon is reduced to 0 once per battle. So the Entropy Cannons just... Because it's him like seeing ahead through time, and you saw it, it's like... Bzzz, the shot missed. Okay, so the Entropy Cannons miss. The mortar will land on him.
Paste.
6 shots. This is bombards that can strip the hull off a starship on 3s, and 5 of them hit. Will wound him on 3s, and 3 wounds at -2. He's behind a barricade, so -1, so 3 up saves. You make it. Stubbers. Everything hits. Force to wound. You'll get a -1 but +1 because of the barricade.
2 up.
He takes all the firepower
He's a boss.
from one Plague Burst Crawler, so the other one just turns and fires towards him.
Well, there's nothing else for them to shoot.
Stubbers, let's do it backwards this time.
Oh, no.
3 stubbers hit. 3 of them wound. 3 2-up saves.
Oh no!
He's down to 1 wound remaining. You have no CP.
No CP.
Here's the mortar. That's really cocked against the sand. 1 shot.
Yes.
Which hits and wounds. 3-up save or death.
No, he's dead.
A mortar explodes around him and Trajan Valoris disappears in a flash of a teleport light. Back to the battle barge or Grand Cruiser or whatever these guys fly around in. And he's gone. And what was that?
I was really looking forward to heroically intervening back into combat and hacking that last Terminator down as he was trying to run away.
He's not running away.
Look at it, he's running.
Well, that's my shooting phase. Now we fight. Defenders get to fight first, and all your units have fight first. So you get to do it all again.
Mm-hmm.
He's on 11 wounds. He's on 10 wounds. You've got no CP this time.
Nothing to spend anything.
And one warden left. So 5 attacks because that martial guitar is still active.
Yeah.
2s. And 4s. 3 wounds. That's good. Just tickle, tickle, tickle. And make all the saves. Right.
Winters!
The next squad is 12 attacks. And they're hit on 2s. So it's good hitting. Winning on 5s. Oh. It looked better than it was.
It did
only
look
4.
better than
Yeah. 4 up and buns. Oh.
2.
He's down to 8 wounds left. And then these guys.
Last 2 guys is 8 attacks.
8 attacks. He's only got 8 wounds.
I only need to hit and wound with everything. You need to fail all your filthy saves. So that
7.
one's alive.
7 got through. It's a blessed number. 5's to wound.
I've got all my misrecordias in
Oh yeah, all the misrecordias.
That
No wounds.
No wounds.
Right, now we need to do all the misrecordias that we keep forgetting.
We do.
6 attacks in total.
What did you do, Smithers?
Hitting on 2s and wounding on 5s. Stab him in the back with a knife. 1 gets through. And
you save it.
I save it. It bounces off the barbarian plate. Okay. Now I smite you. Or kill you. So
Jump up and down on me.
I'm going to jump up and down. But he's on 8 wounds. So instead of 7 attacks, he only has 6.
Which on the plus points seems a bit like orcs. When they get worse, they go orcs.
Yeah. Yeah. He still hits on 2s though. I'm going to put 3 into the warden.
Yeah.
3 into this squad of 2.
Yeah.
Let's do the squad of 2. They're wounded 3 times. 4 up, invulnerable saves. They make it.
The warden.
Fighting a demon Primarch. There aren't very many people who can go toe to toe with him.
No, it's not.
This is why they guard the Golden Throne. The warden on his own takes 3 hits, which injure him 3 times.
Do you feel lucky?
Yeah, it's pretty, yeah.
Yeah, he's out of there.
That's 6, 11 wounds.
Yeah.
11.
I'll roll 11, 6 up field overhead. No.
And that is the last action of this battle for the Death Guard. There are 2 units of Custodian Guardsmen left, going toe to toe with Mortarion as we head on to the Golden Hosts, turn 5. Right, so first up, we're doing Rendak Stance 1. 6 is to hit, auto wounds the target.
Yeah.
The unit of 3 will use the strat Slayer of Nightmares, giving +1 to wound. And they hit on 2s, looking for those 6s though. No
Nothing.
6s. But you will be wounding on 4s with that +1 to wound. 5 wounds. 4 up and buns. Shrugs.
Ooh, 4 down.
He's on 4 wounds
4
left.
wounds to go.
Now these guys. 6 attacks left. 5 of them hit. He's a wound on 5s. 2 wounds. A fail one. And make the shrug.
Disgusting.
We've got the 2 Misericordias from these. 2 hits. 2 wounds. Fail a save. Make a shrug. And then the 3 Misericordias from the +1 to wound squad.
Yes.
Yes.
Also the 6s are all
Yes.
yes. Which they don't make no difference.
Just 2. Forced to wound. 1 wound. Fail the save.
Oh, you are
And make
so
the shrug.
disgusting.
Mortarion's on 4 wounds left. And this
Nothing.
is the way the world ends.
What a game, mate.
So the Death Guard win this day. Trajan Valoris has been banished from this battle grid. Mortarion will take a couple of steps back, and the Golden Host will realise that they've stepped into a trap. As high up in orbit, macro rounds start thumping into this polluted shrine. It is a victory for the Death Guard. Such a hard-fought victory. After they tactically repositioned right back into the very corner and tried to pick apart the Custodians piecemeal rather than have one massive thing hit hard. And that kind of worked in the end.
Really did.
How was it for you?
Fantastic, mate. Just they are Mortarion. Just what else do you need? Just
Well,
Mortarion.
have you never gone up against Mortarion before?
I've occasionally, but usually either avoid him. But the worst, like the one time I went and he jumped at me, he just outstripped himself, left himself out front, and just died horribly in the first turn.
So that's what a lot of people like, boom, send him in, and then he will die. I deliberately kept him back between two rhinos because I was worried about the counter charge from the bikes. Let's put it this way, he's my most combatty unit, and he didn't get into combat until turn 3 or something, maybe, I don't know. I didn't want to send him forward because then you'd descend on him, and that is 490 points wiped out.
One guy.
I
God,
needed
is he
to.
Tough.
He's tough, isn't he?
He's so tough.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have really enjoyed that.
How are you finding the new Custodies book now that you've played it a few times over?
Every time I open it, I forget something.
Yeah.
There is still too much complication in it. I would say of all the new ones, I think it's quite nicely balanced. I don't think it's horrendously broken.
Yeah.
I don't think its rules are as complicated as some of them.
Yeah.
But I think again, it's coming
There's
back
so
to
many
that
little layers,
little
isn't
bits,
there?
and then it's also stuff that you knew now doesn't do what it did.
Oh,
So
right,
little
okay.
tweaks of things that I know I can use this because it's this, and then you're looking at, oh no, wait, it changed, like, this one's now that one. And
Yeah.
Yes.
This now does this now does that. One of the things we discovered as we were playing through that game is they've added wounds to a lot of units.
Definitely.
A lot of the Custodians have got an extra wound here or there, like the Vexorless Praetor, the Shield Captain on a bike having 9 wounds. That's crazy. There's so many little niggly bits. They could trim away a good 10-20% of that book in rules wise, and it will still have all the flavour. It will still be good. It would, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Fun to play.
Yeah.
Easier to play than
I have to say though, Death Guard are a hard counter to Custodies because all of their rapid fire stuff is damage 2 and all of their weapons are damage 2, which we make it all damage 1.
Yeah, because if you look how many wounds I've actually done to you, now times it by 2, you're dead.
Yeah.
And so it really does show how brutal the Custodies are, but also how resilient the Death Guard are.
And disgusting. Yeah. That was a good good game. You're always a fun guy. You're a fun guy. You're a mushroom.
Fun guy.
You're a fun guy to play against. You do like to chat, and I like to chat as well. So
hence why it's getting dark.
It's getting dark outside. But that was an awesome game. I think the thing is, as well as just attack and kill each other games, if you throw it at yourself at each other in the middle, it just turns into a pit, and who's got the biggest rock wins. Yeah. And
I still would have liked to have said who'd have won if you had, though.
You would have won. You had the biggest rock.
I suppose if everything you did keep those dreadnoughts out of play for an extra turn. Well,
I've got the Terminators as him as a rock. These guys aren't really a rock. They're utility. Yeah. So I was using the range and the mortars and the psychic stuff that I could do. I'm sure we missed a few rules.
I'm sure we did.
Because
there's so many rules.
This is why I like playing Death Guard, actually, because the Death Guard Codex, if anyone's watching this, the Death Guard Codex is a great codex to start playing the game. If you're already a collector and you want to get an army, it just does what it does.
Yeah. Yes. I've not used every trick in the book because I've forgotten some of the tricks in the book. But even so,
there'll be lots of people on YouTube saying, "Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?"
But I've used all my CP, so I've done. Yeah. Yes, I used a lot of my stuff. Yeah. It was good. I've enjoyed it immensely.
Thank you for coming down.
No worries.
Thank you for bringing down with you some gorgeous new terrain that you can buy from James March of War by going to marchofwar.co.uk. and looking at all the awesome bases and terrain and things like that he makes, or check out tabletopevents.co.uk on Facebook, and you run lots of events.
Lots of games. Yeah.
I said it before, like you've got every single army except Drukhari.
Yeah, no Drukhari.
You're a gamer. You're a player.
I'm a player.
Commission painter, and you've, like me, been able to help your dream come alive.
Full-time hobby.
It's glorious. We want more people doing this full-time, the hobby full-time.
It's amazing.
Because when it's...
And I really appreciate all your support, because it's amazing. Like, you've been an idol for ages, and it's amazing to get to play with you.
Well, thanks. And get drunk with you every now and then.
Sit on park benches, yes.
Well, no, you're awesome too. I mean, look at this. You've made this table come alive and made bases come alive and things like that. It's it's always good, glorious meeting people who are doing this for the job, because one of the only ways to get to do it for a job is you've got to really, really, really love it.
You've got to love it. Yeah.
Keep going and going and going.
Oh, I love what you do. That'd be amazing. I think I could make loads of money if I did that. It's like, no. You won't make any money doing this. What you'll do is you'll end up with a huge pile of models and really enjoy yourself.
Yeah, you won't make any money for the first 5 years, I guarantee it. No. Well, you might, but you'll put it all back into the hobby, and then you need to keep working at it, working at it. And then there's a certain amount of luck, and there's a certain amount of love, and obviously a clear amount of talent in your case. I have no idea how I got to where I was, but you're clearly one talented mofo.
Thank you very much, man.
Right, so I think we should wrap up. Have a cup of tea or something, and that was glorious. For anyone who is interested in supporting me, you can become a channel member, but don't do that. Instead, subscribe to deploymentzone.tv, where you can get more videos from me, and that also unlocks my Discord. That unlocks all the basics in the Discord. There is also a deploymentzone.tv Patreon page, and that will unlock the full it's like a silver and gold membership.
Yeah.
Silver membership.
I'm in your Custodies. It's amazing. Yeah. It's such a fantastic group of people.
Oh, the Discord is nice.
It's lovely. There's always somebody to talk to. There's always something to do. Yeah, it's great. And
events
the level of what on YouTube's fantastic, but the level of content you put out on DZ is just unreal.
I put out about 3 times as much. I try and aim for at least double or 3 times as much content on DZ than I do on YouTube.
And it's just good. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, they're the ones who are paying the mortgage, so
precisely.
It's the least I could do. Try and develop the kind of community that I wanted to be a part of when I was a wee bairn. Exactly. I'm still a wee kid, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to thank you to everybody who is watching this, who is already in the deployment zone. I love you very much. And happy wargaming.